Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com. Welcome to our 2022 ski test. Right here we've got the Salomon Stance 84. There's two new Stance skis for the 22 season, this and the narrower Stance 80. And essentially what Salomon did is they took the overall concept of the Stance 90 and 96 and kind of tweaked it into a slightly more affordable and slightly more approachable version, and also a little narrower too at 84 underfoot. So very, very similar concepts in this ski, like I said, but it's a little different. We still get a full poplar wood core, so basically the same wood core as you get in the wider Stance skis, but in this ski we get a TIC Titanal layer. So little different than the double Titanal layers in the wider skis. This only gets one sheet of metal, and in these windows, if you're familiar with the Stance line, we get these cutouts of the Titanal layer, which is important. It's an important design feature. And in this ski, we get carbon in there. So we get a single sheet of metal, windows, and in those windows, we get carbon. So pretty similar construction to the wider skis, but we drop a sheet of metal. To me, shape is a little different than the wider skis, but kind of goes along the same trends. Fairly low camber height in this ski. Then we get a nice amount of tip and tail rocker. Tip rocker starts about where my hand is, and then tail rocker is almost the same length as tip rocker, which I think is really cool and definitely adds to this ski's performance. Again, if you're familiar with the Stance line, you'll know that these skis were developed to kind of complement the existing QST skis. So the QSTs lean more towards the playful freeride end of the spectrum. The Stance skis, especially those with two sheets of metal, are stronger, stiffer, more stable at speed, and designed more for firm snow applications. I think the same is true about the 84. It just feels a little different. With the single sheet of metal as opposed to two sheets of metal, not quite as strong at speeds. It doesn't feel quite as powerful as the 90 or 96, which have a similar rocker camber profile. Those skis are a little more damp and kind of have that traditional heavy two sheets of metal feel. This ski, on the other hand, has a nice blend of feeling damp and stable, but to me it feels a little more energetic, a little quicker, which has a few different benefits. So for one, I think this ski is more approachable for an intermediate level skier. I think the Stance 90 and 96 and 102, but I keep referencing the 90 and 96 because they're a little closer in shape. Those skis feel more suitable for at least an advanced skier and in some cases an expert level skier. This can certainly be enjoyed by an intermediate. You don't even have to be an athletic intermediate. Any recreational intermediate can get on this and really, really enjoy the ski. You get the benefits of metal, you get that smooth feel, maybe not as much dampening as the wider skis, but still pretty good. It gives you that confident, inspiring, smooth feel. But they're a little more adaptable, they're a little quicker edge to edge, they're a little easier to control, and they're not as fatiguing either. Still carves a really, really nice turn. You know, you can definitely rip around on groomers on these things. Does have a little bit more of a speed limit than, say, the 90, again, to bring up more skis in the Stance line. But it's going to be hard, especially for a less aggressive or an intermediate level skier. You're pretty much never going to find that speed limit. Something that I really like about the Stance 84, and I think you could probably say that it's the best at this among all the Stance skis, is moguls. Again, that amount of tail rise, or amount of rise in the tail of the ski, allows you to kind of wiggle the tail around behind you, makes it a little bit more forgiving when you take it into the moguls, and then having that 84 millimeter waist width as opposed to the wider Stance skis means you're a little quicker edge to edge. I think about it in a similar way as I think about skis like the Vocal Canjo. They're responsive, they have a performance-oriented feel, but they're not too demanding. They aren't as tiring, they're not as fatiguing as heavier skis, and they also both happen to be like really, really fun in the moguls because of their shape, construction, and just overall responsiveness and quickness. So great ski, definitely a very, very versatile all-mountain ski. Maybe not the best in soft snow conditions at just 84 underfoot, but the shape will allow you to play around in some softer snow and some variable conditions. Really good value too at $499. You get a lot of technology for quite a bit less than we see in like the 90s and 96, at least $100 less. So great ski, pretty cool to have Salomon add 2 new options in the stance line that are a little more affordable. You're really getting a lot of value in this ski. So let us know if you have any questions about it as usual, and we will see you out there on the slopes.